Another rapper getting his freak off on, and his girlfriend Jane was involved. Hello, my friend. It is Perez, the queen of all media, the original influencer, and your #1 source for everything Diddy drama. Jane is back on the witness stand in the federal trial against the disgraced music mogul, where he is facing charges of trafficking, racketeering, and he hopefully faces life behind bars, where he belongs. Jane, not her real name, is back on the stand, and she had a lot to say today. Jane told the jury today that in January of 2024, she flew to Vegas on the private plane of another rapper. The judge ruled that the identity of this other rapper could not be made public. The defense objected. His lawyer, Mark Agnifilo, emphasized the importance of a public trial, noting that proceedings can prompt members of the public to come forward with additional information about events described in court. Prosecutor Maureen Comey disagreed with the defense's assertion that the identity of the rapper should be revealed at trial, saying that this was just an attempt to harass and intimidate Jane. She added, anyone who has witnessed these events can come forward. The suggestion that they need to say the names to get information from the public is nothing more than a pretense to intimidate the witness. The judge said his ruling stands, noting that the January 2024 encounter is not among the alleged acts connected to the sex trafficking charges in Diddy's indictment. Jane described this rapper as an icon in the music industry. Jane testified that she was a little bit surprised to see one of the escorts that she and Diddy used at a dinner for the birthday of the rapper's significant other, but no one asked how they knew each other. Later that night, 7 or 8 people were in a hotel room watching Antoine, the escort, have sex with a woman on the bed. The rapper, who Jane said she knew from afar, flirted with Jane in the hotel room. She told the jury, quote, he said something like he thought I was beautiful and always wanted to blank me. Jane also confirmed when asked that at some point she flashed her boobies to the group in the hotel room. She said it was an in-the-moment thing. Jane said that Anton, the escort, was known to have a relationship with this other rapper and his wife. There's a lot of freaky-dicky people in the hip-hop world. Well, the whole world, but maybe more so in the rap world. While the judge ruled on keeping the rapper's name anonymous, he has not yet ruled on the prosecution's request to have a juror kicked off of the trial. So we are putting a pin on that for now. After his ex-girlfriend Cassie's lawsuit against him, Jane testified that Diddy became more affectionate with her and would regularly call her his girlfriend then. Jane also said that it was a very difficult time for Diddy after Cassie's lawsuit, that he then went on a family trip and started posting his kids on social media. Speaking of his children, Diddy's son, Christian Combs, wore a Free Combs t-shirt to the trial today. The shirt had a mesh layer over it that barely disguised the words Free Combs in white. Court attendees are not allowed to have slogans such as this in court. In fact, people have been told to turn their sweaters inside out if they have them on them. So his son appears to have been able to skirt around the rules. Jane revealed to the jury that Diddy eventually found out about her trip to Vegas, the one where the other rapper had a freak-off. He yelled at her, "How could you go to another man's freak-off?" She also revisited her prior testimony from earlier this week about how he was physically abusive with her in June of last year. Jane told the jury that Diddy assaulted her before forcing her to have sex with an escort. She claims that was the only time that Diddy hit her. Jane reiterated today that Diddy kicked her, put her in a chokehold, and was just horrific. And after that, she had to hook up with an escort. Jane, yet again, got very emotional on the witness stand today. She broke down in tears as she told the jury she felt she had compromised herself in a way that the other women Diddy had dated didn't have to. Jane texted Diddy in July of last year that she wasted 3 years of her life in hotel rooms. In one text, she told him, "At least say you understand that it wasn't cool to have me just doing hotel nights and everyone got private jets all over the world. I don't even have anything post-worthy from our relationship." Jane added, "My dumb ASS thought if I effed more and did more hotels, I'll finally get a trip." The defense rapped on Jane, and then it was more from the prosecution. She reiterated how much Diddy pushed her for the hotel nights, even after her telling him she didn't want to do it. All the time, Jane said, Diddy would push her to do this. Get freaky. In a June 2022 text exchange between Jane and Diddy, she told him she was not really in the mood for a freak-off, then added, "Don't want to make you mad." Jane said it was typical for him to get upset in these circumstances. Comey then showed Jane an exchange she had never seen before between Diddy and Paul, his personal trainer, who also was an escort that would join them. Remember the trifecta? This text exchange was seized from a device by the government. Diddy told Paul, "I'ma need you to persuade her. If she hears from you, we in." Jane also told the jury that she lied about enjoying the freak-offs to please Diddy. Jane explained that even though she said in text messages that she enjoyed hotel nights, that she did not really mean it. Jane said she didn't have an O climax during the freak-offs, adding, quote, "I was putting on a show for Sean." After a 24-hour hotel night in Turks and Caicos, Jane texted one of their entertainers and told him, quote, "It had been 24 hours with no breaks for me, and at first I was going with the flow for the second link up, but I had warned him that I just felt overwhelmed to perform for a moment I've never done before. I'm not a robot, just a mix of tired, hungry, sleepy, sore." Jane said that she would get back with Diddy whenever they would break up, and "I resent him for knowing how much I loved him and knowing I couldn't say no to him." Jane was pressed about keeping the home that Diddy was paying the rent on. His lawyer said, "You were not willing to give up your home, right?" Jane said, "That's where me and my child live. That's a very hard question to answer." The defense had one last shot at Jane after the prosecution rapped with her. Jane testified today that she makes $5,000 in monthly child support from his frenemy, another rapper, and she makes at least $10K a month from spicy content. And she wasn't willing to give up the home that he pays for. And that was a wrap on Jane. When she got off the witness stand, she went and hugged the prosecutor, and she went and hugged Diddy's lawyer. Tomorrow, we will hear from several witnesses, including another one of Diddy's former assistants. I will bring you all of that, but until then, let's discuss everything we've learned in this video right now in the comments section.